Let's go over a quick little video here on setting and using the eyes for these Nova Series heads that we've come out with. Show you the difference between the Euro eyes and the live eyes, as I've had a few people ask. As noted, with the live eyes, it does have the stem here on the back. I've had people ask, do I need to drill out a hole in this head for that stem to accept? The answer is no. Actually, if you drill into these heads, they will break. Impact resistance, they're not great, and it's something that we're working on improving. The heads are very strong and you're not going to have any issues with them breaking unless you're hitting them or drilling into them. When it comes down to the live eyes, this stem is just the design of taxidermy by, and you're just going to go ahead and cut that off. And then you're not going to have any issues with it setting in the head. Now what I like to do, the design on these heads, we've got these deep recessed areas in the front of the head, and the whole idea there is so once I fill those cavities with clay, I can take a pin after my skin is on the head and I can pin the corners of the eye so that they hold. Now I like to take just some oil-based clay. It doesn't set up. It's tacky, and so it allows the skin to kind of hold in place. You can also use epoxy sculpt or critter clay. I know everyone has their preference. I just prefer to use an oil-based clay. Easier for me to work with. You don't have to worry about it drying out. And I just like that it's tacky, so when I am placing the skin wants to hold on to it. Now all I'm going to do with that is, as you saw, I filled in those channels right there, and then I just did a smooth layer of clay over the front of the head. You can see head on, I'm not bulging at all. It's not too deep. I just do a nice flush layer over the head. Now this time you'll take whatever eye you're going to use, whether it's the live eye or if we're going to use the Euro eye. I'm not pressing this in very far. I'm setting the eye just enough so it sits in place, and then I will look head on and make my adjustments to the angle that I want. Now most birds are going to have the angle of the eye tilted forward, but we need to make those eyes just slightly buggy so that when we do put our skin and the height of the feathers are there, that when you look at the head from front and back, you can still see the eye. Sometimes we push these in too far and we kind of forget that the feathers and the skin take up quite a bit of space once it's over, and then our eyes just look too deep. So I just barely press that into the clay right there. Now if I'm not using eye rings, I'm just going to take a little bit of clay right here, and I'll just go around the eye just like that. I'm not going to do much, just enough to slightly hold that eye and then give me a spot to tuck my skin in. If you do too much, it's going to be a little bit harder when you're pinning your skin, because you're going to have to kind of move that clay around so you can get the shape on the eye that you're needing. On the eye rings, we've got new eye rings, new design that is going to be coming out. They're slowly working our way into inventory. It is labeled L and R for left and right. If you're looking at an eye ring in general, this top portion right here on the eye ring, the top is always thicker. I see a lot of times the eye rings are put in upside down. Just remember this top part here is the thicker part. If you need reference, look up a wood duck eye ring. Really gives you a good idea of how thick that top part is compared to the bottom part. So thicker part on top, but like I said, we have tabs coming out so we'll know. And when I say L and R, left and right, it's as if you are looking at the bird head on, left, right. So I'm going to take my eye ring and I'm just going to lightly press it over that eye. It's not going to click into place here. You may hear somewhat of clicking sound. You do have this tab on the back, and that clicking sound may come from that just breaking off. But we're just going to get that pushed on there best we can, and then making sure our angle with the eye ring matches the angle of the eye. Now at this point, I'm going to take a bead of clay, and I'm going to use the clay to hold the eye ring in place. And I'm going to run that bead of clay right up to the eye ring itself. And that way the skin has somewhere that it can tuck into. Now we just want to be careful we don't get too much clay built up in this eye ring right here. We'll have to come back over and clean it off with something if you do. And then once I have my clay all rounded out around that eye ring, I'm just gonna lightly fan it out on the head, make sure I don't have any weird lumps. You can see head on I do have a buggy look to it, but you need that. By the time you put the skin with the feathers back on, it is not going to be as buggy. So that's how I set the eye ring. And now, because of the design on the eye ring with these holes, when you go to pin your skin and to hold it in place, I typically will pin the back of it first, just like that, to hold this area. The front of the eye ring has a little bit of a lip there, so once this side of the skin is pinned into the head, you can now pull this forward without it pulling away and start tucking your skin around the eye ring. You also have the option, once you do that, to pin in this side as well because of those channels. You can do that with or without the eye ring. It's just an added feature there so that you have the workability to pin the skin and get the shape you need. So just to reiterate on these eye rings and these eyes, we're not going to glue it right to the head. And when we do the eye rings, we're not trying to make these eye rings fit flush right into those channels right there. The whole idea with the eye ring design and the design there in the head is to help us know which way is front and back, which should be obvious, but sometimes we might miss that. But then also to allow this area to be filled with clay so that we can pin. So this eye ring does not need to sit flush in here. As you saw when I did that first one, I had this eye ring sitting up pretty far. So hopefully that helps with just a basic set of the eye, and then later on we'll go over the whole gluing process and actually tucking the eye around the eye ring. But that should give you a good basic understanding of how to use these. And once you have that down, they're really, really easy to use and you get a really nice shape and look.